What is happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back again. We're just with an update on the Crescentio Summerville deal that is broken today, late this afternoon. Going to speak about that, the price involved, and who is the ideal replacement. Because obviously now, with Summerville going, we're going to have to talk about replacements. And I'm interested to get your thoughts on replacements you would get. I'm going to give mine. I think it's a pretty simple one. I think it's easily done as well in light of the money we're getting, or just about getting, I should say. But yeah, we'll speak about that in the stream. I've already done one stream today. The whole thing kind of got lost in the Summerville news in terms of the best or preferred first 11 for the first game of the season. Please go and check out that one from earlier. Was also on with Connor on his channel today. So if you haven't seen that, go and watch that. All our plans were thrown up in the air, man, when this news broke. So we've adjusted on the fly, and that's what we do as streamers. That's what we do. But yeah, we're going to speak about the Summerville and the price that's being revealed by Fabrizio. You know, I haven't made it a secret on the thumbnail or in the title. It's 25 million, people. And I've said before we get into it. Oh God, I haven't even finished housekeeping. Like, subscribe, drop your comments below. You know the drill. Oh, and thank you to Carl Brown for the super thanks on the last video. Already seen that, Carl. Much appreciated. But we'll talk about that 25 million. We'll speak about that in just a minute. But Fabrizio confirming here not long ago, and this again could update in the next 5 minutes. So keep me abreast, people. Crescentio Summerville to West Ham. Here we go, which is that means it's done, people. When Fabrizio says here we go, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. Deal in place between clubs for a package in excess of 25 million with add-ons. So I'm assuming it's 25 million and there's add-ons on it, or is that 25 million and add-ons included? But I'm going to go with the former first because I think that's more likely. Summerville agreed a lot on a long-term deal, and he also spoke to Lopetegui ahead of move. So there you go. Leeds United accepted the proposal, and he's now set to sign. And this is where we speak about deals like this being done. In Kamara's case, he had spoken to Ren about 3 weeks before Leeds and Ren agreed a deal because they were okay with moving him on. But with Summerville, it was a more delicate situation. He's one of our key players, and it had to be the right deal. The only thing that comes into this, and shout out to you, Bowden, for catching me live. The only thing that comes into it is another one of the reliable people in terms of close to West Ham. This was when we first spoke about this, when Fabrizio first broke it, but they said that the deal was too high, and we're thinking, yeah, Summerville, he's going to be priced out of a move. You know, no one can match the fee. Well, this person here, ex WHU employee, West Ham United employee, said, has stated Leeds have lowered their overall price now, and the deal is on. So we have giveaway, and the only question you've got to ask is why? Why have Leeds United, you know, not folded, but why have they lowered the valuation? Is it an instruction from Summerville, his agent, to say, look, West Ham, this is a great deal for me. Could you please, you know, reconsider? Can we get close to your asking price? Can you do that for me? Is it something that Leeds United need to do in order to strengthen in other areas of the pitch? I don't know, and we all don't know. We're all just speculating, right? We're all just, you know, guessing what it could be. One thing that we said, and this is something that Connor and I said on his channel, they have to get this right. They have to get the replacements or whatever it is right. Because I've given the 49er Enterprises a lot of credit, and they do deserve a lot. But this is where I've got to put this down. I have to. 25 million for me is far too low for Summerville. When I was thinking of a Summerville deal, yeah, I said, Marcus, I said that to Connor off air. I said, we must have like a 90% sell-on clause. And look, we won't know if there's a sell-on clause at this point in time. So again, we'll wait until it's finalized. But again, not everyone always gets that information. But what I will say is that the 49ers have to get the replacements right, because there's no excuses. We haven't done this on the final week of the season. We haven't even done this 2 days before the transfer deadline final week before the transfer deadline. We've done this a month before. So there should be provisions in place, like Daniel Farkas said, in order to get players that will come to Leeds United. But 25 for me, and I agree, Allison, it's a joke. When you say, and I do it in comparison to other players, and I don't count those sweetheart deals that Villa and Chelsea were doing with each other for their youngsters. We all know those were cooking the books kind of transfers, so they don't count. They should do, but they don't. I'm talking about just in general. When you're hearing Joby Bellingham being linked or rated at 20 million by Sunderland, Are we saying that Somerville's only 5 million better than Joby Bellingham? Absolutely not. But obviously, some things happened in terms of Leeds United agreeing to lower the fee. We will never know what it is until it comes out, probably from the West Ham side. But 25 for me is the lower end. I was thinking that we get a deal done, it would be 35 million fee and rising to 40 million with add-ons. That is where I was. So to see 25 kind of hurts my eyes. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie. Giving 49er Enterprises a ton load of credit, and maybe there's more to come out of it that we don't know. But the surface of this, 25 millions, even with the add-ons, is low to me. And we don't know what the add-ons are going to do, people. The add-ons could be, his appearances, goals, assists, West Ham's position in the table. We never know what those add-ons are going to be. Ryan saying we've been bullied on this one. Yeah, I feel the same way, Ryan. I feel like we've bent. I feel like we've bent to West Ham, and whether that's through Kree's or his agent's instruction, or for your West Ham's persistence and them actually talking to Kree and saying, "Look, we want to get this deal done," because quite clearly he spoke to Lopetegui, but we need Leeds to do something. Can you speak to Leeds? And it could be something like that. Again, just speculating here, but yeah, it does feel like we've been bullied out on this one. We shouldn't. 25 million for me. And when you're seeing other players, like if you're seeing a Jack Clark go for anywhere near 20, Jack Clark is nowhere near the technical level of a Summerville. He's not. No matter how much you guys like to reminisce and love him, I know, I get it, but he's not. But he may go for that with the English tax. Um, let's have a look. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And J Dog, one thing I'm not going to do this in obviously J Dog here is probably going to echo quite a few fans. Somerville obviously pushed for this hard. I'm not going to say he pushed for it hard, but once again, he's within his rights to do so. In terms of, if you can work out a deal that's fair, please do so, because I deserve to be playing Premier League football, which he does. There's not one person in this chat that's here right now or in the comments after that will say Somerville's not a Premier League player. There's not one of you, and if there is, kind of, don't really know what your football knowledge is on. Got to say that. But if he said that West Ham, this is a deal he wants to do, and Leeds are saying, well, they're not meeting our price, and he's saying, can you please meet them somewhere in the middle? Maybe that's where the add-ons come into it in terms of taking it up to 30 or 35. Again, we're just all speculating, people. Yeah, and well, we won't know, Jack. We won't know. We won't know. Mikey, absolutely not. Right. I don't know why Ryan Kent keeps on coming back up, guys. You guys are don't speak it into existence, people. Be careful with what you speak into existence. Yeah, on that side, Matthew, wow, deal of the year for West Ham. Exceptional deal. If I'm a West Ham fan now and I'm looking at what they're trying to do, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. And to get Summerville, let me get something up. I didn't get this up before I started. I should have done. Courtesy of LUFC data. Should have really got this up before. Yeah, here we are. Courtesy of LUFC data. Just look at ridiculous. That's how instrumental Somerville was for us. So I ignore all the people that are trying to downplay how important Somerville was, because I don't know what they're on. Honestly, I don't know what those kind of people are on. But he was vital to everything we did last year. And people could say, well, we didn't get promoted. Without Somerville, we don't get 90 points. We don't. And he was instrumental in the way Daniel Farker played. So we're gonna have to see something different from Daniel Farker this season. That's a given. But look how important this guy was in for our season. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, it was Alan Nixon, right? Got it, got it, got it. Um, and here, okay, Philip, this is a good one. He is definitely good enough for the Prem, 100%, but I thought he would have gone to a team higher than West Ham. Well, Philip, this is where the sell-on clause is important, because I said to Connor, I don't think that West Ham is Somerville's final destination. I don't think that one bit. So if we've got a sell-on clause for him, and if he does what I think he can do at West Ham, it's going to be one of those again where the bigger teams, they didn't get him at 25, so now they're going to have to pay out the nose to get the player, like we've seen with Adam Wharton, we've seen with Eze, we've seen with Elise, we've seen with a whole host of players happen, Madison as well. They don't get them at the price they should do, but they wait until they do something else at a not a lower level team, lower level in relative to the big boys, and they pay out the nose. That's why I hope we do have some kind of sell on clause because we will be pocketing some money when he moves on from West Ham to wherever it is he goes next. But yeah, it's like one of these things I've said before, Philip, and you've been here a long time. You know, I've said this before. Even if he felt that Liverpool was the place or somewhere like that he could go, if a team like West Ham sells you a project, like Fabrizio has said here with Lopetegui, and they're showing the desire to want you, that's how you get those players. It's not always just about the team that comes in for you. And he would have, and I've said before, he would have started at Liverpool for me. He's way better than Luis Diaz. It's not even close for me. Luis Diaz is a brilliant dribbler, knows how to take out a player or two, but his final product is shocking. Summerville would be an improvement on that, but yeah. So there you go in terms of that, Philip. Uh, it is a joke, though. It is a joke. Jeffrey, yeah, great point, Jeff. Jeffrey, sorry, you put Jeffrey, so I'll call you Jeffrey. Your mama named you Jeffrey. I'm gonna call you Jeffrey. Somerville wasn't just our best player; he was our best player in the whole damn league. Big facts. It doesn't even just take a Player of the Year award to tell you that he was head and shoulders above everybody, and he showed that more times than not when he was on the pitch. Yeah, Philip just saying, yeah, KG, I get young with you. No worries, no worries. Jared, I hear it. It does suck. It does. Render here saying, I was thinking minimum of 30 with big add-ons to take it 35 and a big sell-on. 25 million is very poor. I thought the 49ers were playing hardball. Massive caving from the club. Don't disagree, Render. Completely agree with you. But what does that mean now? Yeah, Mike, you knew it, Mike. I usually reference it, but after the whole Dumb and Dumber fiasco, Mike, I thought, you know what? Let me not even mention that it's from a movie. Uh, Yeah, I mean it's different references though, Lewis, in terms of that. That's not the kind of comparison I'm going with because also Kudos, who also plays for West Ham, went for 30, 35 in comparison to Anthony that went for 90 million. So, but I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, we didn't get for me, we did not get market value. And please don't quote me transfer market because they're guessing, that's not a real valuation of a site. They've currently got Jaden Bogle at 3.8. Well, he didn't cost us 3.8, did he? He cost us 5, rising to 7 after add-ons. So they just put down a stab in the dark at valuations on that site. Mike is saying, do we buy 2 players, as you said? Well, here we go. So this is where we have to go in terms of thinking forward, which is what we do on this channel. So Summerville's gone. For me, I do get in 2 players for him. So Farker before wanted a central midfielder and a left back, which we showed earlier. We do need another fullback. I do believe that we need 2 players to replace Summerville. One is not going to do it unless this player is exceptional for our level. It's very unlikely we're going to get 1 player to replace Summerville. And what I would do, people, and it's not close for me, but I'm interested to get yours. I am going to get Gabriel Sara to play the 10 or wherever in that midfield, interchange with Aronson, whatever. I would get Gabriel Sara in. Nanto, as long as he's here, is on the left, and you get a backup winger on loan. That is what I would do personally. What say you? Because I'm seeing different valuations for Sara. I've seen 10, I've seen 15, I've seen 20. Don't think anyone really knows. But if we're losing Summerville for 25, I find it hard to believe Gabriel Sara is going to go for 20. I don't see it, but you never know. But I'm personally not going out for another winger like Summerville. I'm using Nanto because Nanto can take on the mantle. He will get the goals. He'll get the assists. I don't know if he'll drive play like Summerville did, but he will be more than adequate on that side. I mean, adequate's unfair. He will light up the left-hand side, and it's just about getting in a backup piece to complement him when he needs a rest. Mike is saying it has to be sorry. Okay, has to be Sara KG. They have to. Anything less is not acceptable. Well, what I would say there, Mikey, is that they've got a bigger scouting network than you and I do, right? They've got other players that they'll have on the list, maybe other deals that are more viable, easier to do than Gabriel Sara. But what I'm saying is, for me, I've said it way in the summer, Gabriel Sara could play Premier League now. And maybe he sees himself at that level. But if other teams aren't willing to meet the price what Norwich want, if we can do that and it's not, breaking the bank, Gabriel Sara fills in so many positions, set pieces, open play, goals, assists. He just fills a lot of positions for me, and it would make a complete ton of sense. That's just me though. Render saying, do you see Gonto going? I don't know, Render. I'll be real with you, and it's nothing to do with last summer for me. That's got nothing to do with it. It's if another club comes in with a bid that Leeds United deem acceptable, and Nanto wants to move. Because again, like Summerville, Nanto should be playing higher. A lot of you don't get it because his numbers don't reflect it, but his technical ability says he should be playing at a higher level easily as well. So if he finds a club comes in for him that's close to the value or whatever, maybe they lower to that as well, then I can see Nanto going. But at this point, we've got to hope that he stays. You've got to hope this stays. And I've said before, they're not Ant and Deck. If one's here, doesn't mean the other one. If one goes, the other goes with him because obviously he's not going to go to West Ham. I think that Nanto would stay if a suitable club doesn't come in. But yeah. But I mean, listen, I've got Gabriel Sara as mine. I haven't been looking at the chat, so if you've said it already, please repeat it, and I'll get your suggestions up. Like I say, the lone player is not that it's not that much of a bigger deal for me because the way that we can interchange, even with Aronson playing off the left if we need to, we've got a lot of interchangeable options up front. Dan James as well. But let me just say this as well. If Nanto goes, people, that's a different conversation for me in terms of not where we finish as such. Maybe it does affect it a bit, but you're talking a big chunk of talent out the team that needs to be replaced. So let's just hope for people that actually like Nanto that he stays because if you lose Summerville and Nanto, ooh, that's a sticky conversation, people. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Max. The relationship with Firpo is going to be important now. Whoever comes in can't just pass to Somerville and pray now. Yeah, that's it on Farker as well, isn't it, Max? He's going to have to come up with a new solution, as he likes to say. It was Somerville and Jorginho and hope for the best. Well, one of those pieces have gone. So yeah, it's going to be different now. What are we saying? Chrissy is saying we should have been able to get Sarah James and Doig for the Somerville money. We can't now afford Sarah. It depends. It depends though, Chris, because like I say, I've seen so many different valuations for Sarah. I don't know which one's true. No one really knows, do they? But yeah, like I said, and I said in the earlier stream, but Jordan James, I saw that link, but it was by one particular outlet that I'm not going to report on here. But if it does go to a more reliable outlet, then we can speak on it. Because obviously I've spoken about Jordan James on here before. Direct here. KG, this afternoon you said back four. I did, yes. With a back three, no, I already explained on that one. Actually, I'm not gonna. I should have read this before, but no, we don't need a back three in this division because we're going to be having the ball more than anybody. You don't need three, and even if say, okay, let me just quickly answer it. In case Jaden Bogle or Firpo get caught at the pitch, that's what Ampadu's going to be there for, as extra cover. We don't need three. That's overkill. That's overkill. And I got to say as well, it wouldn't look good on Daniel Farker if we implemented three central defenders in a majority of games and we win games like 1-0, 2-0. I don't think the fans will be very happy. Let's have a look here. No worries, direct. No worries. Richard saying this price could be coming from the West Ham side. Well, it will be, Richard. That it will not be, I promise you, Richard, this won't be coming from the 49ers side. Not even a bit. If it was coming from the 49ers side, they would not be saying 25. They would probably spruce it up a little. This is all coming from the West Ham side, much like the Jaden Bogle stuff when we was hearing the prices for that. It was all from the Sheffield side. We don't get anything at Leeds United. And on the fan side, I absolutely love it that way. But I would like to know why it was only 25 for Somerville. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But what I will say as well, some people saying forget the top two. I haven't got the chart on me anymore, but the depth that we've got, even with Somerville out, yes, he will need to be replaced. At this level, is still good enough for the top two people. Yes, Somerville is a huge part of our attack as LUFC FC data shows here, but we have got more than enough to go forward, but it's about what the 49ers do to replace it because we have to replace him, by the way. You have to do that, and you've got a month to do so. There's no excuses for this. And like Danny Farker said, there are people that want to come here. Proof will be in the pudding. Mark is saying the team looks weaker than last season. I disagree, Mark. I would disagree, but maybe some other people agree with you. But I highly disagree, just purely from the players that have returned in terms of Verba. You think about the three centre backs that we've got. I think Debayo's probably going to be our fourth one, as Farker seems to have liked him. But you think about Strout, Roden, and Verba. There's teams that are fighting for promotion that would kill for one of those three centre backs, and we've got all three. You know, we've got Ampadu, absolute linchpin in defensive midfield. Still got Nonto from the left. For me, Jorginho off the right, Brendan Aronson, Dan James. We've got Mateo Joseph, who is ready to be unleashed this season. Joel Perot, who for me is going to cook like we've seen in preseason so far. There is a lot to like, people. Brendan Aronson, we don't know what's going to happen with him, but I feel that he's going to do well. There's just too much talent, and this is where I go, where people like lose the plot. Go and look at other teams and look at their actual squad. Look at their actual squad and see what they've got, and think, oh, actually, their players aren't really as good as what we've got. But yeah, we do have to replace Summerville. And BMG saying, KJ, listen to this. I'm listening, BMG. Jorginho goes wide. We find a quality 10. Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Leeds. That's pretty funny still. Gavin saying goals could be an issue. No, I think they'll get spread out, much like last season. But I think Joseph's going to get on the end of a lot more. So if Joseph gets, let's say Joseph gets 15, I think that's pretty low considering I do think he's going to get more. But let's just say he gets 15. You've got Nonto there who will get goals. I think Jorginho will get more. I think he'll improve his finishing even just a bit and maybe hit double figures. You've also got Dan James that will chip in. Jaden Bogle chips in with goals. Joel Perot will chip in with goals. There are goals in his team. Joe Ruffalo will chip in with a couple. And we're even hearing from Gruev, who's being given license to explore further up the pitch as well when he plays. I do feel that we've got goals. I don't think that's a worry. And that's why when we've done these streams, people, I don't talk about strikers. You know, you guys ask for suggestions for signings. I don't talk about strikers because I don't think we need them. I think that we've got them in place here already. Jeffrey saying the biggest thing I'm worried about, KG, is if we don't go up, we'll end up losing Joseph next year. Jeffrey, if we don't go up next year, we're losing much more than Joseph, my man. Let me tell you that. So if you're worried about that, get ready to lose a whole lot more for probably less than the 25 that you've seen Summerville go this summer. But that's it. That's the price of not going up, people. You don't get to dictate everything, I'm afraid. Yeah. There'll be no squabbling now, Gavin. Peru will be the lead penalty taker when he's on the pitch. Probably. Jasby is saying, honestly, I'm gutted at Creed going. Yep, and bro-in-law is a happy hammer. He should be as well. He should be. OC Baseball. Add-on details. It all depends on who's doing the reporting. If let's say West Ham are doing it as they've done so far, and they tell Fabrizio, they've actually got a sell-on clause. I don't think they'd release it though. It's usually more the selling club that releases it. But as we've seen, the 49ers don't release anything. I don't know if you guys have seen Jake O'Brien. He's moved to Everton lately. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but it gives me big shades of Charlie Criswell. And Crystal Palace sold him cheap to a League One team. He obviously did well enough for Everton to invest nearly 17 to 20 million on him. And Crystal Palace got a little bit of a sell on. Now, we sold Charlie Criswell for 3 or 4. I envision him doing the same next year, impressing enough to garner a Premier League move. And I don't know if we've got a sell on for that because obviously the 49ers don't release that kind of information. So we won't know basically until Summerville's sold on, is the short answer. But yeah, Jake O'Brien, big Charlie Criswell vibes on that one for me. I don't know if anyone else felt the same. Resident Alien, you know what? And this is a good point as well. Bet we only get 15 million for Nanto because, and again, I was saying this to Connor offline. 20 million or 25 million is what I would have expected for this version of Nanto. I know a lot of people probably think 15 million is his range, but I disagree wholeheartedly. But now Somerville's gone for 25 plus add-ons. We'll keep saying that. God, I wonder what Nanto will cost now. Because now, if you're Nanto's agent, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, people, so don't put this out there, but I'm saying, well, wait a minute, you let Chris Summerville go, who was exceptional last year, was took Nanto's place as the left wing, and you want how much for Willie? Yeah, yeah, kind of, it looks a bit spooky, doesn't it? But please let's just hope we get to keep Nanto on this one, please. Um, but yeah, oh God, right. Is there anything else? Is there anything else just before we leave? Let me just see if there's been any other update. I doubt it, but let's have a look. Fabrizio, man, rumor afternoon, man. What's going on? Nah, nothing new, people. No, just West Ham going in for full Krug as well, as we know. They're cooking over there at West Ham. Cooking. Lopetegui, man. That Lopetegui juice is strong. No, people, nothing else in terms of that. Nothing else. But yeah, that is it, people. That is the update. So yeah, please put all your thoughts in the comments below. Put in your replacement thoughts, thoughts on the fee, which even for me is very low, and we'll have to see how it plays out. And yeah, people, like the video if you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of the evening.